everyone, I'm Laura from GoSimpli, and today we're going to do an abs and actually whole core area medicine ball workout. So I do have a warm-up and a cool down, a little bit included, and everything is down on the mat, even the warm-up and the cool down. So the only thing you need is a weighted ball. If you don't have a weighted ball, you can probably do this with a dumbbell as well. This one is about 8 pounds, but you pick what is good for you. So in a few minutes here, or a few seconds, we're just going to start with our warm-up, and we're going to do each exercise for 30 seconds. So just roll the ball off to the side, and then you can just sort of sit cross-legged if that's comfortable for you, or however it's comfortable. And we're simply going to do some torso circles. So we're just going to rotate for a little bit in one direction, and just sort of get that spine warmed up in a circular motion, and then we're going to switch directions and go the other way. So it's kind of really exaggerated and slow. Okay, and next up we're going to get on our hands and knees, and we're going to just do that cat-cow and flex our spine in a different range of motion now, so not so much circular as in a wave now. Oh, just a few more seconds. And next up we're going to do a bird dog. And it looks like with my timer I forgot to leave enough space for us to get into our first exercise. So I'll tell you now, our first exercise is going to be a Russian twist. So yeah, I will cut this warm-up one just a couple of seconds short so that we can roll back and get our ball. So opposite leg here. Okay, so I'm going to just sit over on your bottom. Missing a few seconds is just fine. And take your ball, and we're simply going to rotate to one side and then off to the other. So I'm leaning slightly back. The further back you lean, the harder it will be. And with the added weight, it's really working those obliques. This is definitely a lot more challenging. And if you want to make it still challenging still, always you can lean further back, and then you can try lifting up one leg, and then you could try lifting up two legs. And this is very challenging. And you have to make sure that you have your lower back nice and protected here. Excellent. Now we have a 15-second rest, and we're going to do a dead bug position, but we're going to take the ball and we're going to push it into our leg. So we're going to have one bent leg with the ball pushing into it, and then you're going to dead bug on the other side. So you go full extension and then pull it in. And because you have this ball here that you're supporting, your abs are working really hard as you push in on the ball with both your hand and your knee, opposing forces. And then you have to keep that lower back pressed firmly into the mat. So there's a lot going on in that deep abdominal muscles. Whew. Doing this for 45 seconds is a challenge, and we're going to do the other side next. Excellent. So take a little break here. Put the ball down for a minute. 8 pounds is quite heavy for me to be doing abdominal exercises with. So I'm going to set up the other side now. So I've got the other leg bent and the arm pushing into it. And then dead bug, which is just the full extension. And then pulling elbow to knee, or hand to knee, arm to knee. And again, the further I have that leg out from the midline of my body, the harder it's going to be. And I need to make sure that my abdominals are zipped up tight and that my lower back is pressing firmly into the mat. So I'm protecting my back by doing that. Thankfully, we just have 10 seconds left here. Whew. Excellent. So put that ball down. Next, we're going to do a butterfly crunch with the ball. So we're going to take our feet and put the soles together and let the knees fall open. And then we're going to just hold this ball right in front of our chest, and we're just going to crunch up and then back down. So it's just a little bit of extra weight right in front. And if you wanted to make this exercise just a little bit harder, you can lift up your butterfly so that your legs are off the ground. And that definitely will make it more challenging. And if you need to, you can always support the ball with one hand and put one hand behind your head, as long as your ball feels comfortable enough resting on your chest, which is exactly where mine is right now. The weight is all just resting on my chest. And if the legs are too much, then you just put them down. Excellent. So next up, we're going to do a side plank. We're going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter which you're doing. And you can do them from your knees or full leg. So take that ball and put it up sort of in the hip there, and you can either go, I'm going to go from my elbow, you can either go just on the knee, or you can go full plank. So whatever works for you. We're not going to do a dip or anything this time, but you certainly could add that if you wanted to. And just sort of hold that ball in place. And it's funny, you add an extra 8 pounds and wow, really makes that side plank a lot harder on the obliques. And again, you can always drop that knee and just hold it from this position. Especially if you feel like your lower back is struggling, then go down to the knee. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides, so roll that ball down, bring the legs around. You can also do what I did, where you do some of it from, get that up in the sort of my waist area there. So again, you can go from your knees, or you can go full length, and you can do what I did, where you did like about half of it up in full length and then drop down to the knee. You can work with how your body is feeling today. So I can feel now that my lower back is feeling a bit of an ache through this, and I don't like that, so I'm going to go down on one knee, and I'm still getting lots of work through the core and through my obliques. I want to protect that back as much as possible. Okay, and now we're going to do a weighted bridge. So I'm going to put that ball down, and I'm going to get in my position first, roll back. I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to rest it right on my hips here, pull the legs in closer, and I'm just going to push up, and I have to hold the ball here because it will roll off. So pushing up, and then back down. Making sure that the tailbone is curled under every time, and that my knees and feet are pointing straight forward. And I'm really squeezing in my buttocks as I push up. It's also working the glutes and the hamstrings and the quads, as well as the abdominals. Just a few more seconds here. Okay, now we're going to roll that off to the side. We're going to do a plank and roll the ball away. So, we're going to get up. Actually, I'm going to keep it on my elbows today, and I'm going to roll the ball with one hand, and then pull it back, and then switch and roll the ball with the other hand, and roll it back. So if you have rounded dumbbells on the ends, you could still do this with a dumbbell. If not, then you can just leave the dumbbell, and you could simply just reach, okay? And not use the weighted ball or weight at all. But if you can, it definitely, as you push it out and then pull it back in, those deep core muscles have to work. Not to mention we're getting a good upper body workout here as well. Excellent. Okay, and so roll the ball off your mat and come on back down. We're going to do a sit-up, and we're going to try to add an overhead reach. So, like I said, this is very heavy for me. I'm going to put it over my head and come back, and right when it's about here, I'm going to sit up and reach it over my head. Bring it back down, roll down, over my head, go back up, and full sit up. There. So we are getting a bit of arms in this as well, and a bit of lower body, but it is definitely focusing on the core. So back and front. Just a few more seconds here. Finish this one. Excellent. So I'm going to put the ball down. We're going to get back into a plank position, and now instead of rolling the ball forward and back, we're going to roll it side to side. So now I'm going to go up on my hands, and I'm going to roll it underneath my body, put the hand down, and then take the other hand and roll it to the other side of the mat. So I need to make sure that my glutes are really squeezed here. My tailbone is tucking under. My wrists are underneath my shoulders. And again, with having to reach out to the side and switch my arms, my balance is shifting each time, which is really working the core. And my deep abdominal muscles have to work to pull the ball through. And you could easily just pick up a weight and move it from side to side. Okay, so next up we're going to do a bicycle crunch. So I'm going to roll the ball off my mat. I'm going to come back down. I'm going to grab my ball. Okay, so legs are in tabletop, and I'm just going to sort of elbow to knee. And it's not going to be as fast as your regular bicycle crunch. And that's okay. It's not about going fast. It's about making sure that lower back is firmly pressed to the mat, that the abdominals are pulled in tight, and that we're going through the motion fluidly and safely. And actually, when you go slower, it's harder because you're not using any momentum. Just a few more seconds here. Oh, I'm so thankful we have these rests. Okay, so next up we're going to do a bear plank. So roll the ball over, and one more time sit up. But a bear plank is not full length, so put this ball right sort of where you look straight down. In a bear plank, you're on all fours and you lift those knees up, and now we're simply going to tap the ball. We're not going to move it at all. We're still getting that weight shift, so the balance is really working hard. And in a bear plank, it's just a little bit different. You have to really pull up in the lower core and those deep muscles. And it feels a lot different than a full-length plank, and it can be a little better on the back. A little easier for the back, but just as hard, if not harder, for the abdominals. So just a few more seconds here. Excellent job. And now we get to cool down. So just roll the ball out of the way. And we're going to do some cat-cow waves again and really stretch out that spine. It has worked well. It has worked hard. And that is good. We need to work the spine. We need to learn how to keep those muscles strong. It's just a few more seconds, then we're going to move off to a Sphinx pose. So for a Sphinx pose, we're going to come down on our tummies. We're going to take our arms in front of us and then scooch up. And then you probably can't see me. I should move that. So that our arms in front of us look like the number 11, and we have a nice arch here, but our hips are down, so our lower back is protected. And a nice stretch through the front of the abdominals here. And now we're going to roll onto our back, and we're going to do a spinal twist. So I'm going to pull in one leg. I'm going to rotate off to the side here and just get a nice stretch through the front of the abdominals and through the back here. Just a nice little stretch over to one side. And then we're going to bring that knee back to center, put it down, pick up the other knee, and rotate through the other way. And get a nice stretch on the opposite side. Oh, how lovely. I don't really want to come out of the stretches, but I must. But thank you very much for joining me today. You should feel really proud that you finished that. That's a very challenging ab workout. Definitely at least a level 2, if not into a level 3 with the added weights. Let me know if you like this by giving me a thumbs up. I hope you have a great rest of your wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.